All right, good morning and welcome to the video. It is Saturday. I have no idea what date it is, to be honest. Sometime in June. Out here racing a 50K, 31.1 miles in Central Texas. And this is not something that I've trained for specifically. I've been running consistently above 50 miles per week for the last like 9 weeks now. But I got the opportunity 2 weeks ago to fill in for somebody who couldn't run the race. So here we are, we're pushing. So knowing that this is a smaller race, it's actually the first year they've held this race. I went in that yesterday. I thought maybe there'd be a chance that I could push to finish top 3 or maybe even first, depending on who showed up. And not many people are here. Pretty small race, but I will say the people who are here are pretty fast. I was pacing just behind the lead pack first like 3 miles. Now I've kind of settled in my own pace, probably sitting in like 8th. So we'll set micro goals throughout this race. No specific time goal for me, knowing that I didn't know what to expect with the course, but we'll find ways to push. And really the point of this is to get uncomfortable, get in challenging situations, and push through them. This is practice for any races in the future where I'll have to endure challenging situations. So we're gonna keep working. We're about 5 miles in right now. All right, exactly 1 hour into the race. 7.5 miles completed. Beginning to really settle into the pace that I need to run. So we're gonna just continue to focus on that, run my race, continue to fuel. It's gonna get to probably mid 90s near the end of this run. So fueling with water, electrolytes, some carbohydrates, gonna be absolutely critical because it's gonna get tough with the heat in the later stages of the race. Slight climb here. Whew. There we go. I'll get the legs going. First gel. Spring Energy gel. Got 44 grams of carbs. Goes down pretty easily. All right, we are a little over 11 miles in. This course is a loop course, so I'll loop back to the start at the halfway point, and then we'll run the loop again. Back half of this course is pretty technical, but it's really good practice for me and some beautiful views. Took a pretty good spill in the rocks. Wasn't filming. GoPro went flying. Now the race has started. You fall for the first time the race has started. I used to play hockey Played hockey for 15 years of my life. I was always told, you get your first hit in the first shift and you're into the game. Well, it took 12 miles, just ate it in the rock. Now we're in the game. 15 miles in, almost halfway, almost back to the start finish line. Definitely racing now. I do remember, like, I settle into races pretty well, or at least like settle into my pace. And that's where we're at now. We're just moving, turning the brain off, getting the job done. All right, just over 15 miles in. Should be about half a mile from this halfway point. I'm gonna have, or start taking bites of Lara bar. It's my whole food of choice for ultras. All right, aid station set up. Here we go. Second half of this race has begun, and yeah, I got a new hat and I'm pretty pumped about it. Ate the Lara bar, got some water, got my bottles refilled, and now we're chilling. Here we go, last 15 and a half miles, having fun today. So we came through the halfway point in about 4 hours and 15 to 20 minutes, somewhere in there. So the goal for this race now, like I said, I'll set goals and push for certain things as the race goes on. The goal is to run under 5 hours. Should be doable. It's now 9:30 a.m. So the heat of the day is starting to set in, but I'm pretty happy with how I feel 19 miles in. Just have to stay on top of hydration. At some point, we'll really just have to dig deep and push. But I think the goal of under 5 hours, definitely doable today. 20 miles in, 3 hours and 4 minutes. I'm reading a very popular book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl right now. And it is, if you don't know what it is, basically the story of a Holocaust survivor and his experience in concentration camps. And also Viktor Frankl was a psychologist. So his perspectives hold a lot of weight because they're based around knowledge, but also experience in the concentration camps. And it really just talks about finding meaning in struggle. What we're doing out here, running an ultra marathon, in my opinion, this isn't suffering. It's hard, it's struggle, it's adversity, but I chose it. This is just practice for the other areas of my life. The struggle that I don't get to choose. True suffering is when people are placed in a situation they can't get themselves out. But when people say that they are suffering through a race, or suffering through training, or suffering in their job, that's not suffering, that's struggle. And in everything, there is meaning. Not only are you strong enough to overcome it, but you could overcome much more than you're dealing with right now. And that's why I love things like ultramarathons, because we get to choose our hard, and it can condition us for the other areas of life that we don't get to choose. This loop feels a heck of a lot different than the first loop. So much more direct sun exposure. I don't think I realized that it wasn't all tree cover that first loop. It was really a lot of just being earlier in the morning and the sun not being out as strong. A lot of sun exposure on this final lap, so something to push through. But this hat, absolutely clutch. Trying to stay positive, trying to keep a good perspective, really just appreciating the fact that I can be out here today getting it done. So let's keep moving. Another reason to love ultras is the people. I stopped at an aid station. Everyone's so nice. I got ice in my hat, cold water on my neck, cold water in my bottles, and just that gives you energy. Working with nice people, talking to nice people, so pretty awesome. This is a tough part right here. Watch this. Oh, really steep slope. There we go. I'll tell you what, she put ice in my hat. Big scoop of ice at the top of my hat right now. And she said some people say it hurts. At first I didn't feel anything. Now the ice is melting directly on my head. And she's right, it hurts. It takes brain freeze to a whole nother level. But whatever's gonna keep me cool, I'll take it. All right, 25 miles in, feeling pretty rough, but as we take a big climb here, I just passed someone for the first time in, I don't know, since the first loop probably. I feel like I've been running by myself a lot of the last 10 to 12 miles. But I see someone up ahead of me right now too, so I'm gonna keep pushing. And that's our motivation right now. If you see someone, cover the ground and then separate. A marathon in, 4 hours and 11 minutes. Starting to really feel the heat, but here's my thought process right now. Everyone wants to talk about being a dog or whatever on social media. Everyone wants to talk about being able to push through. But when things get hard and you start to feel uncomfortable, when you didn't get to choose the type of pain that you're experiencing, maybe it's not what you would prefer, what do you do then? That's the message I'm giving myself right now. This heat is not comfortable, not something I would have chosen. Running an ultra marathon can be hard enough, but when these are the circumstances that life provides you, who are you and how do you show up? Do not sacrifice who you believe you can be in your best moments for the limitations you place on yourself in your worst. The vision that you have for yourself, when you're having a good day, when you feel strong, that is who you can be. But the limitations you're placing on yourself when things get hard, that's resistance to the person you're meant to become. Push through that resistance, refuse to settle, and push the boundaries of who you know you can be, no matter how hard it gets. All right, just shy of 28 miles. Starting to feel a little bit nauseous. Heat's getting to me for sure. About 4 miles left. Hoping not to get sick, but there's only so much I can control right now. Just continuing forward. Ooh, there's a breeze that feels good. All right, big hill, downhill coming up here. Gonna run that, and I think there's an aid station within the next mile. We'll see. All right, just hit up the last aid station. I was really looking forward to that. I got more ice in my hat, got some plain water, and I got some Tailwind carbohydrates and electrolytes in the other bottle. This ice in my hat's gonna help so much because the last time I did it, it melted for like the next 2 miles. So I get the benefits of that as we close out this race. Had a slice of watermelon too. That was pretty good. So, all right, we're gonna get running here. Pretty good terrain the next mile or so. Less than a 5K left. See you at the finish line. All right, we are within half a mile of the finish line. And I will say something I've learned through these experiences of doing marathons, ultra marathons, whatever it may be, the harder the race, the better the finish line feels. This finish line is gonna feel really good. Happy to be out here again. It's been hard, the heat's rough. This is the kind of experience I needed. I can kind of check in with myself sometimes and see if I need to put myself in a really challenging situation, and I've needed it. And here we are. Appreciate it. Yeah. It was a great race.
Good running, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
All right, that is a wrap on the 50K. It was 5:15 finish. The heat definitely got rough out there. My quad actually started to cramp up, but fortunately, it was okay when I was running, and then if I stopped and tried to move it around, it would try to seize up. Anyways, we got it done. It was an amazing experience. Like I said already, I needed that. I needed the struggle. I needed to push my limit, and I'm proud of myself. And I think that's my main takeaway today, is to do hard things and to let yourself be proud of the things that you do and the person that you are. So my challenge to you is to challenge yourself, and then to allow yourself to be proud and to use that to fuel everything else you do in life. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for following along, and make sure to join in on the next one.